The Nintendo Switch is only 2 years old, but it's getting more and more fantastic titles each year. whatoplay presents the top 10 Nintendo Switch games of 2019, all arranged by PlayScores. The PlayScore is an average of gamer and critic ratings. At number 10, we have Wargroove. Our first entry is a revitalization of the age-old tactics genre. Commonly dubbed as a spiritual successor to Advanced Wars, Chucklefish's vibrant indie game combines retro sensibilities with a deep turn-based mechanic. The Switch may have Fire Emblem leading as its strategy genre, but Wargroove feels like a breath of fresh air amidst the hybrid console's smorgasbord of titles. Nintendo Life gave it 9 stars out of 10, calling Wargroove as one of the best titles you can find, an easy recommendation to anybody looking for a deep and cerebral experience for their Switch. Its success obviously comes from its presentation. It's simple and easy to pick up, but another reason for its praise is its staggering amount of content, and by staggering, we mean you'll be soaking hundreds of your hours into this game. There are multiple modes to choose from, including its creative level editor feature. It also gives us an almost infinite amount of playtime, and it's the perfect opener on our list as it goes hand in hand with the Switch's portability feature. What's not to love about a game that lets us take control of adorable attack dogs? It receives a play score of an 8.40.
There are so many more things we could learn. If only our journey would continue.
Moving on to number 9 with Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. It's not rare to see games coming back decades after its original release. This definitive edition of the 10th mainline Tales entry arrives to the Western shores with polished and brand new content.
I'll blow you away!
Turco Lumires looks better than ever, and the Switch is the ideal platform to experience this JRPG wonder all over again.
Azure Edge!
Holy power
Azure Edge!
Nintendo's insiders scored it a 9 out of 10, praising the Switch's portability features. This definitive edition isn't just a mere remaster, it almost feels like a new game with a ton of fresh additions, including 2 new characters, Patty Flu and Flynn Sifo. It also goes without saying that this rework finally introduces a fully voice-acted story.
What sort of curse is it supposed to be anyway?
Overall, it's the perfect game to get acquainted with the Tales series. It's the kind of PlayStation 2 quality JRPGs that offer enough content for anyone seeking for a good story, and it receives a play score of an 8.42.
Galtea, stand watch over your life.
That I be considered worthy.
And at number 8, we have Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age. The Switch may not have the latest Final Fantasy titles available just yet, but this is the closest thing we have at the moment for some great modern FF games.
Face my wrath!
Like Tales of Vesperia's Definitive Edition, this version comes with whole new surprises that in turn make this a completely different game. The biggest change for this re-release comes from its international Zodiac system, a gameplay rework that improved its sluggish combat in its vanilla days. This major overhaul adds much needed depth to its gameplay loop as you can switch between characters and have more customization from its Zodiac sign and job trees. Most reviews praise the game for its fantastic remaster work, which not only includes the Zodiac rework, but also the graphics and audio. Critics like Nintendo World Report called the Zodiac Age the best FF game on the Switch just yet. but with many titles still available, hopefully it won't be the last. The subpar fantasy story remains the same, which is enough to merit a criticism. But despite that, the Zodiac Age is a great FF title for the Switch, and it receives a play score of an 8.47. Onwards to number 7 with Dragon Quest Builders 2. The Switch has Minecraft, yes, but Square Enix has Dragon Builders. Square's open-world JRPG has a lot in store for die-hard sandbox fans and JRPG veterans. It's a sequel to 2016's Dragon Quest spin-off, which takes us into a whole new Dragon Quest universe where we rebuild its fallen world after an apocalypse. RPG site loved the game so much they gave it a 9 out of 10, saying Dragon Quest Builders 2 is in every right a proper sequel and improves upon its weaknesses. This sequel features the addition of new biomes and other interesting gameplay changes that make the adventure fun to play for all ages. Although it's a sandbox game, at its core it is still a JRPG. You build your character, customize from top to bottom, and let the character explore a magical world and take down monsters. As a video game built for kids, this story and its multiplayer suffered a slight setback. GameRant's 3.5 out of 5 argued that it is a well-made game, but the story mode can be a drag and the multiplayer implementation may not be what fans expect. Nonetheless, these issues are completely minor as its overall experience is home to limitless potential, a play score of an 8.51. The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Nintendo loves their iconic Hylian hero, and what better way to do that by taking you back into his most adorable adventure 25 years ago? Like entering a time-traveling machine, Link's Awakening is the remake we've all been waiting for that outshines all iteration from its title, starting from the 1993 original. It wasn't the usual Zelda game where Link goes around exploring Hyrule and spending most of his time breaking pots. It's all about our boy waking up on a mysterious island and doing all he can to survive in its dangerous overworld. This 2019 version preserves all the best things from its 1993 title, and with a ton of fresh content to add a whole new flavor into the action-adventure mix. Link's Awakening was praised for its impressive remake design, which improved almost everything out of the original, especially in its beautiful toy-like 3D visuals that makes the journey more accessible to kids and young adults. It receives a play score of an 8.59.
They will ask you to sacrifice everything for their ambitions. To sell you a false peace, building a cage around you with lies. Prepare yourselves. You must sacrifice.
We're down to number 5 with Astral Chain. Platinum Games can do no wrong when it comes to its list of stylish and frenetic action-adventure titles. Astral Chain is a solid presentation of futuristic special effects and addictive hack-and-slash gameplay.
Now, too. That ugly son of a bitch is what we call a chimera. The Ark's not-so-public enemy number 1.
Enter a technologically advanced society where neon lights pulsate every corner and mysterious alien creatures tear everything up. Play as an enforcer with a robotic fighter teaming at your side. Like most Platinum Games' titles, engage in a fast-paced, flashy combat accompanied by your mechanical partner's perfect synchronization. Gaming Bowl gave it a 9 out of 10, calling it one of the Switch's must-own titles. What makes Astral Chain even more special is its exclusivity to the Switch platform, which in turn pushes the lengths of what Nintendo's console can do, and boy did it deliver. It receives a play score of an 8.69.
Yeah. Yeah.
At 4th place is Super Mario Maker 2. There's always a new Mario game in every Nintendo console, but Super Mario Maker isn't just jumping around and saving princesses from another castle. It's a game where you make your own Mario game. If you think the original has a ton of content, this sequel pushes the limits even further with an almost unlimited customization features.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this! Introducing the Master Sword power-up. Pick it up and da-da-da-da! Mario transforms into Link. This new look isn't just for show. Attack with your sword. Guard with the shield. Dash attack. And down thrust.
More customizations mean more players making impossibly difficult levels to conquer. Its open-ended level designs bring more room for creativity and imagination, but also other ridiculous and goofy creations. Pick a Mario generation, visualize your torture chamber, be it from its 2D classics or its modern 3D magic, and watch how players rise and fall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
IGN Seth Macy gave it a 9 out of 5, concluding with a statement, Super Mario Maker 2 does nearly everything better than its already excellent predecessor, keeping the charm of a Mario game while still introducing some incredible new ideas. There is a lot to unpack here, literally. Super Mario Maker 2 offers an almost limitless amount of content for level design geeks and engineers. It receives a play score of an 8.74.
We're always getting better. It keeps on feeling fresher, better, hey!
And we are down to the third on our list, which is Ring Fit Adventure. One of this year's unexpected surprises was the Nintendo Switch's Ring-Con gimmick that encourages exercising in a fun, rewarding, and weird way. It's no dance pad, but it requires you to use your Joy-Cons and fit them into the circular and flexible high-tech version of a Pilates ring.
To move forward, simply jog in place. You can go slowly or quickly. Just keep moving at your own pace. Press in on the Ring-Con to create a blast of air in the game. If you aim it downwards, you can jump over obstacles. And you'll also paddleboard up rivers, flap through the sky, or roll ahead on surprising contraptions.
What Ring Fit Adventure does, however, is integrate RPG tropes into an effective exercising game. If Just Dance was all about dancing, Ring Fit Adventures takes you to a magical world where you get to fight enemies in turn-based combat and explore all while burning a few calories.
Serious enemies will challenge you to fit battles. You and the enemy will take turns attacking. When it's your turn, you'll use exercise-based attacks called fit skills.
It's like Wii Fit, but at least you have actual goals in this one. There's a story here, and it's really forgettable and not part of the game's focus. Its best feature lies in its intention to make you sweat. This is what made this an ideal game for players who just want to exercise with a mix of mediocre role-playing goodness. It has a play score of an 8.79.
Like so much rain, a pool of blood has fallen to the ground. As spears and arrows pierce the earth, it weeps.
Second best Switch game of 2019 goes to Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Definitely one of the Switch's best releases this year. 3 Houses continues to be the gold standard of the tactics genre and JRPG design.
War is coming. Soon the 3 territories will draw their lines in the sand with blood. And when that time comes, your path will be shaped by a singular choice. Your decision could determine who stands beside you and who will fall before you.
Just like Trails of Cold Steel 3, you are a member of a Hogwarts-like military school where you go to war instead of learning about magic.
As a professor, your command extends from the classroom to the field of battle. Whether your students live or die will depend on your leadership. So make sure their abilities improve by assigning them real battle experience.
There is so much to do in Three Houses, unlike most of the Emblem games. This entry gives you more room for breathing, such as learning various topics and seminars, training your battle skills, or simply just wandering around and talking to every character you meet.
Now I feel like I'm getting somewhere.
What makes Three Houses critically acclaimed isn't just about the improvement of its battle system. No, it's the fantastic presentation of characters and narrative that makes every action you do worthwhile. Game Rater's perfect score of a 5 out of 5 marked Three Houses as a master class in emotionally gripping tactics in a turn-based tactics game in a long time. They close in their review saying Fire Emblem Three Houses fully realizes a new meaningful direction for the franchise that makes it all the best it has ever been. A play score of an 8.96.
I believe in you. I believe in the Luminary.
Arise! Awaken, Holy One!
And the best Switch game of 2019 goes to Dragon Quest XI-S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. Square Enix's Dragon Quest series stands the test of time. Considered as the best of the series yet, 11 excels with its fantastic presentation of living that JRPG fantasy. This enhanced version is built just for the Nintendo Switch console.
This is your adventure, so you decide how best to enjoy it.
Save the world of Erdrea and take on the role of the brave hero in this one-of-a-kind adventure. You know you made it when you're a playable character in Super Smash Bros. In this definitive edition, explore the magical world of Erdrea with more monsters to slay and secrets to uncover. You could even switch between two graphical modes, the classic 2D visuals or the modern 3D graphics. Of course, it all depends on how you want your experience to be.
Nintendo Switch version, you can change between these styles.
There is no doubt about its staggering success. Most of the reviewers, including Nintendo Insider, who gave the game a 10 out of 10, said that the Nintendo Switch version is by far the best one to pick up. It not only gains appreciation due to the Switch's features, but what made Dragon Quest XI the most celebrated of the series is also its heartwarming story and its overwhelming amount of memorable characters. This definitive edition gives more depth to these personalities with more stories to tell and some nifty contributions to the party. It is a great JRPG title and it's definitely the Switch's strongest game yet. It has a play score of a 9.01.